Hello friends, it's me. It's time for boring history for sleep. And as always, if you would like to send us your suggestions for future episodes, please do so by commenting below or contacting us through the provided means. This is also your reminder that if you enjoy this content, you can help us out by liking the video and subscribing to the channel. Now then, without further ado, let's get on with the episode. As usual, all the sources are in the description. The year is 2700 BC. You are an unfree peasant who has just woken up before sunrise. Your overseer has already come by to make sure you understand that today is another day of labor on the Great Pyramid of Giza, where you have been forced to work alongside hundreds of other equally miserable people for several years now. All of them are fit and healthy, except you, because last night you came down with a fever and chills. Probably malaria, which has been going around lately. So, you are too weak and feverish to get out of bed. But your overseer isn't going to be understanding. He needs his quotas, and the pharaoh demands the pyramid be finished by sunset. Even though it will take at least another 2 decades to complete. You stumble out of your hut and immediately regret it. The walk to the pyramid seems longer than usual and you have no idea how you're going to make it. Then you remember the papyrus you found on your way here that said the buyer of a certain brand of donkey repellent ointment would receive 50 lashes. But not while you're re-wearing your protective copperwork clothes, though. But it might be worth it. Now, you just need to find some water to cool your head and maybe find something to eat. But first you must avoid running into any officials, especially not the scribe, whose job it is to keep track of how much work you do, so they know whether or not to beat you when you get home tonight. When you finally reach the river, you are horrified to see that all the best spots have already been taken by others. There's no shade left. Now the only spots left are ones that look like they might have a crocodile basking in them. Well, you don't have much of a choice. You jump in the river to cool off and try to calm down a bit. If you only had some linen to drape over your privates, so you wouldn't get in trouble for indecent exposure. But you have enough strength to make it to the market district. No, you can't go there. It's too far. There's no way you could survive that. You collapse from exhaustion, heat stroke, and hunger. A crocodile lunges for your throat, and you wake up choking on sand. You look around to realize you aren't on the banks of the Nile anymore, but you are still naked. In fact, you have been mummified and stuffed inside the Great Pyramid itself, along with a bunch of other bodies. Did the pharaoh really want this pyramid so badly that he ordered every worker who died during its construction to be entombed inside of it? What a guy. Maybe it's better if you just stay dead. The year is 1913. You are an archaeologist excavating the Egyptian city of Ak. You and your team have just uncovered a huge cache of coffins, some belonging to servants of the royal court, and one, well, it looks like it might belong to a woman of high status. You run to grab your camera to document the discovery, but it's too big for the doorway. Oh, well, you think, I guess we'll have to remove the lid. Can't wait for Howard Carter to steal your thunder by discovering Tutankhamun's tomb. But wait, what's this? The lid is opening on its own. Oh my God, it's cursed. Don't worry, it's just a cat. A very real, very much alive cat. Now, you're pretty scared. But you want to maintain your reputation as a tough, unflappable archaeologist. So you tell the cat that it's cute and then proceed to spend the next 3 days clearing away the dirt and treasure from the coffin so you can study the mummy within. You invite the cat to hang out and it happily accepts, jumping right into your arms. While you have been carefully unwrapping the mummy, you notice that she appears to be missing her nose and ears. You think, it's grave robbers. They never get tired of ruining everything, do they? But then you notice that the damage doesn't look recent. Judging by the amount of grime on the mummy, these features must have been removed at least 1,000 years ago. That means you've just discovered the oldest case of a botched plastic surgery job in history. As you continue to brush dirt off the mummy, you notice that she is wearing a necklace made of cowrie shells, which indicated that she was from Nubia. an ancient kingdom to the south of Egypt. She looks nothing like the Nubian mummies you have seen before. Those were always male, and this one is clearly female. Could this be the first ever example of interracial adoption? Or maybe she was a Nubian princess who married into the royal family. You bring your camera back to record the rest of the unboxing, but you have forgotten to put the film canister back in. Oh, well, you think. I guess I'll just write a detailed description of the rest of the ceremony. You reach into the coffin to pull out her personal effects, but you quickly recoil in horror and disgust. The cat is in the coffin. Again, you are covered in fleas and diseases that haven't been seen since the Black Death. One of those diseases happens to be a rare strain of tuberculosis that the human species has unencountered in thousands of years. The last thing you remember is the burning sensation of your lungs collapsing as the cat leaped into your arms. The year is 4000 BC. You are a Neanderthal man living in what is now Israel. Your tribe has just finished their hunt, and now it is time to drag the carcass back to camp. You tie the legs together with some vines and begin the long march. Unfortunately, the carcass is starting to smell and the flies are getting pretty bad. You just wish there was some way to preserve the meat so it didn't rot. You arrive at camp and everyone is shocked to see you carry a perfectly preserved mammoth leg. How did you do it? You explain about the ice lake you found deep in the mountains, where the cold keeps the meat fresh forever. Everyone wants to hear more about this magical lake, so you take them there. Once there, you and your tribe begin to store meat in the lake and feast on it weeks later. Everyone is loving it. The fish in the lake also seem to appreciate the extra protein. The humans of the region are finally thriving. You are a hero. Except there is a problem. Another group of Neanderthals has arrived and they claim the lake as theirs. And they don't seem to be in the mood to share. You and the leader of the other group size each other up, knowing that one of you will end up dead. The battle is brutal. They hit you with a spear, but you dodge out of the way and stab them right in the neck. Then they pull out a bow and arrow and shoot you right in the shoulder. The fight goes on like this until suddenly the ground begins to shake. You and the other Neanderthal look up in terror to see a wall of water coming straight for you. The wave crashes into the lake, causing it to overflow and wash away all of your food. The other Neanderthal throws his spear at you in anger, but it misses and hits a boulder instead. You pick it up and hurl it at him. He drops dead. You dive into the lake to retrieve some of your food, but it's all gone. This will take years to replenish. You better hope you don't die of starvation before then. And speaking of death, you need to tend to your wounds. Maybe if you throw some dirt on them, cover them in leaves and wrap them up in animal skins, they will heal faster. And maybe you can use that old bandage you found next to the bones of a dead animal. You clean off the wound, wrap it up, and tie it off. Hopefully that'll stop the bleeding. That's all for now. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you next time.